Oh, yes, we're doing this one. Hello, everyone, Anirudh here. Today, I'll be bringing to you the greatest, yes, the greatest work of cinema. Now, before we start, I'm gonna tell you guys the parameters and the entire range of movies that I went through to come to this. So, before we come to it, art is subjective. For many of us, the film school in itself, The Great Citizen Kane is the greatest movie. And for others, the 1997 classic Gunda is actually the greatest movie. At one point of time, Gunda had an IMDb rating of a perfect 10. Yes, that actually happened once. Now, looking at the greatest, I don't limit myself to a particular genre or a particular form of narrative or a particular language. The ambit is as wide as we can imagine. For this, I have actually considered the likes of The Godfather or the South Korean Memories of a Murder. We have Iran's Asghar Farhadi, who made the classic A Separation. I've even put in the classic Malayalam movies like Puravi, Chameen, and Yakshi. Even the IMDb classic, The Shawshank Redemption, as well as surrealistic movies such as Mulholland Drive and even South Korea's Old Boy. All of them have been considered. Now, to make it even more diverse, to make it even more interesting, I'll even consider anime. Yes, anime is cinema. The Ghost in the Shell is what inspired The Matrix, and the classic Perfect Blue is a must-see thriller. So we have cinema from all over the world, as well as anime, and every form of narrative which is around a feature length. Now, taking all of these movies together, our primary focus will be on storytelling. Now, the greatest movies have great characters, and it's how well the cinema resonates with us. It's about having the same feeling as the actors. It's about feeling what the character feels. It's about being in that tone which the director has set. It's like when we see The Pursuit of Happiness, we resonate with every single moment of Chris Gardner. Every single struggle he faces becomes our struggle. And it also extends to the emotional catharsis, something that which we feel in watching the Swiss Army Man movie. Yes, that's a very weird movie, but it has an unimaginable emotional connection. So, coming to the greatest of all the movies, of all the great works, of all the greatness, the greatest movie is Dear Zachary. Yes, the best story ever told, the greatest work of cinema is from a documentary. Dear Zachary is in its core so genuine that nothing ever made has ever come close to it. Now, let's all wait a moment. Let's all take a deep breath, relax. Why is this documentary better than the works of Tarkovsky? Why is this better than what Kubrick has made? Why is this considered to be the greatest? Let's get into that. Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father. It's a documentary made by Kurt Kinney. It's about the life of his best friend, Andrew Bagby, who meets an unfortunate end, and Kurt determines to make a film for Zachary, the then unborn child of Andrew. It's for a son to know who his father was. This documentary is a cinematic scrapbook. There are old home videos, and there are a lot of interviews from the present and from the past. It's about people recollecting their memory of Andrew. Kurt travels throughout the United States, he goes to the United Kingdom, even to Canada, and he interviews and interacts with every single person who knew Andrew once. The basic idea was to weave an image of Andrew from the threads of memories. A pretty basic documentary, right? Actually, not. Unlike the stories of great men or revolutionaries or politicians or people who changed the world, Kurt here brings us the memory of a man who might have been right next to us. Here we see life as we live it. There is no grandeur, there is no spectacle, there is nothing to bear witness. It's just how John Keats resonated with more people as he wrote about the mundane. What Keats wrote was for everyone, unlike Shelley, who wrote about kings and revolution. There is no glorification. It's just life. It's just Kurt showing Zachary who his father was. People have called this an emotional roller coaster, but every time I look at it, it's just purely real life, and the documentary moves at a pace just like life does. It's random, it has a very unexpected outcome as well. As we watch the documentary, there is a feeling that we are living with Andrew. It's as if he is right there with us. We smile, we giggle, we cry, and we even begin to grieve. Dear Zachary is an ode to the memory of a man. It is intertwined in a narrative of many people remember him, such that we begin to see him live. I have never seen life narrated in such a way that we feel it still exists. Kurt Kenny has shown us filmmaking at its pinnacle. In ancient times, the bards would devote works of art to immortalize warriors. Kurt Kenny has used cinema and made death cease to exist. Greatness or spectacular cinema or classics, they do not come from the technical aspect of cinema. It does not come from having big budgets or having the greatest cameras. It comes from within. It comes where a man with a camcorder and just sheer determination decides to tell a story. Just like life has its randomness, where we make choices that we can only reflect upon later. Dear Zachary was initially made only for Zachary. This was made without an idea of an ending, or no one knew how it was going to turn out. Kurt just wanted to show Zachary about Andrew. There was not even any form of ambition for public distribution. Kurt Kenny didn't have the slightest idea how or where or when he would end this documentary. It just ends, and it ends as shockingly as it begins. He shows us the life of a man and the tragic aftermath. He brings us close to all those who hold him in memory. He brings us to tears, and he brings us so close to Andrew that even we miss him. Alright guys, this video was spoiler free. I want all of you to watch the masterpiece for yourself. It's there on YouTube, it's also there on Netflix. Alright? Now, if you like the video, please let me know in the comments down below. Like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.